So they're off of a road. They have skid marks going to this pond here.
We're just south of there. We just came off of Alda.
Right and left lane where these tires go straight through.
Okay, so we can be there in like 10 minutes. Right there. What is that?
Robert and Loveda Proctor went to Grand Island in January. They apparently got lost, trying to get back home to Aurora. That was almost 6 weeks ago.
And so I think, to make the best use of our day, one is we're dealing with a new scenario for us. We haven't gotten into locations to where everything is now frozen. We have the 360 sonar that we can auger some holes, drop the 360 in there, but we also have a magnetometer as well. We have nothing in the way of a car. Rocks and bottom. And so where is she going to possibly go, making this our new ground zero?
If he's driving, it's a game changer. It's a total game changer from the standpoint of speed, from everything.
Yeah.
She's saying that the 34, there's a pond on the side of the road with a 6-foot gap in the reeds.
You have a disturbance right there, that there's no reason ice would be broken like that at all. I think I have something. Oh, do I have a car right there? This road right here, First Street, that runs along the north side of I-80, has a bunch of ponds. Let's say that they are this far west. You don't say, how do you get to Aurora, Nebraska? And the further you get from there, the closer we start getting on 34 and 6 to Denver. And just on the south side of Denver is Aurora, Colorado.
When did she figure it out that she was totally lost? 7 a.m.?
Do they end up in the water right here that is not frozen? Straight behind you, straight off the ramp.
The thought process is this whole piece next.
And she knows 14 too. That's gonna come up in her head.
Here we are on day 4 searching for them, and we have covered a lot of territory.
So today we have a new game plan. We're actually going to be working the lower section of Hastings, working 74, 14, and 4, trying to get to the point where we can rule out any body of water that is in the southern section of Hastings. Car in the back driveway.
Was there really?
There was.
Are you being serious right now with me?
There was something behind there. I don't know what it was, but...
Oh, there's a blue car in there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I mean, you weren't kidding.
I wasn't kidding. I saw it. I saw it right behind that truck. There's a blue car.
There is a blue car. I'm pulling in there. And so that's why, here we are on day 5. Lacey, the granddaughter, reached out to us and said, can you help me? Can you help our family? It's now been 6 weeks. And we're 5 days into it, and we are covering some territory like we've never covered before. I have never put on this many miles for any case before. And this case is a lot different. It's hitting me different. Like, this is so fresh, and it's grandparents that the family needs to know. Where's their parents? Where's their grandparents? Where's their aunt, their uncle? Where's their sister, their brother? And every family needs this answers. I'm not saying that one case is more important than the other. And I'm not saying that there's a reason why we pick certain cases over others. Sometimes they just hit you. But one thing I want to do, and I just want to be very transparent, and say thank you to all of you that are here watching, because we do document everything we're doing as though you're a fly on the wall. You're part of this search with us, and we're going through all these theories and the thought process, and why are we making a left instead of a right? Why are we searching this pond instead of that pond? And if you have any ideas of your own or something that we may have missed, leave it in the comment section down below. But this is how we're able to come out here and help these families free of charge, for the families, for law enforcement, is simply with your support. And that can happen multiple ways. The first and best one that we ask of you is 100% free. Simply subscribe and turn on the bell notification over here on YouTube, or if you're on Facebook, hit the follow, and simply watch these videos and spread awareness of our organization and what we do to travel the U.S. to help these families. We also have a website, adventureswithpurpose.com, where we have merchandise. We have window breakers that help save lives if you're stuck inside of a vehicle. We have, shirts and beanies, and as well as donations. So we thank you for being a part of that portion of it, if you're able to. But as you do watch these videos, that's the one thing that I want you to just remember is, we are not, perfectly spoken. We stumble over our own words, and we're just like anybody else. Just a couple of guys that come together for the sake of humanity to help our neighbors, to help our brothers, our sisters, our aunts, our uncles, and to get out there off the couch to help them with boots on the ground, boats in the water, and do everything we can. Our day actually started a lot earlier this morning. We're gonna back up right now and bring you into that scene as to why we're on this water starting here on day 5.
So before we get to breakfast this morning, we're actually where we camped at Hastings Lake. The chief of police was here, and he asked us a bunch of questions that we were talking with him. And he said, up in this corner here off the gravel road, there's a potential for a vehicle to actually be underwater in this section specifically. So now that it's open water, we want to double check it and make sure we clear this lake properly.
We have a boat under here. Right there's a boat. Only 4 feet here. Yeah, this is so much easier than day 1, dragging the magnetometer around and punching holes with the auger. I'm definitely in my element a lot more when we have the sonar out here. And for the sonar, if you've not seen our sonar and what we actually use and how we use it, We start off with the Hummingbird side scan and down imaging. My first preference, if I only had to choose one, is going to be side scan. I'm currently casting 75 feet to the left and 75 feet to the right. That allows me to pretty much cover 100 to 150 foot swath without having to be right over the top of a target. Because when we come over to the down imaging or the live scope, that's looking directly below the boat. So I'm only picking up, about a 5-degree angle directly underneath the boat. I have to be right over that target. Anything that you see in black on the Hummingbird is going to be water column, and those grid lines correlate with the depth that you'll see in the upper left-hand corner as well. So if a vehicle pops up on here, or scroll back to where, if I scroll back that far, this is a picture on time for the Hummingbird. I was able to see a boat in there right here. So there's a boat, and I can zoom in on it. So that is my picture in time. Whereas this one over here is our Garmin live scope. It is showing you what's happening in real time underneath the boat right now. So if a fish swims by, you're gonna be able to see that fish swim by in real time. I'll hit this spot over here, right up against the road. And that's getting even shallower. Yeah, so north end of the lake is shallow there. So there's the boat again. Yeah, so right over here is where we were camped, where the chief of police came in, and he pointed over to this body of water, right where the truck is at, where the RV is at, and said that it is 5-6 feet deep over here.
We're at 4.9 on the screen on my side.
Yeah, and it's wintertime too, and it's drained down some. So this is about as far as we can go because the ice is still frozen here. And he says on that side it's a lot more shallow. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump then over to that other section for you, where the little gravel turnaround is at. But this does make me feel really good though that we cleared this part of it now. Well, in this one you're gonna see those rocks there? You're gonna bind up on all those rocks. We can go walk it. Yeah, and this is just way too much concrete over here, Bill.
Yeah, it's too much concrete, definitely. I mean, the only way is if they went in here, off of this side.
Yeah, here, let me connect to your sonar ball.
I mean, nothing's broken there.
And when we reference nothing is broken there, like here we are on day 5 right now. And if you didn't check out the first 4 episodes of our search of this, we're talking about, because it's wintertime, everything is so brittle. If something runs across here, it's going to break that, it's going to lay down. It's not going to grow, it's not going to stick, it's come back up. And that's what we're looking for, is we're walking these bodies of water prior to us even putting a boat in. If there's something like solid, like, oh, this is over, now we know for sure, hey, we need to absolutely check this for sure. Right now, we identified also there's a bunch of concrete here, you're not getting a car over, but over on this side, there's a potential location that a vehicle could come in over the parking lot. All right, 3 feet deep. Okay, so after detouring first thing this morning before breakfast at the Hastings Lake there, my next train of thought is right here on 6, where we're just now entering Giltner.
And this is that subdivision, right? That they first went in?
Yeah, so this is as far as I understand, the very first sighting that evening. let's say that she made her way back north from the high school. She found 6th Street, that she knows that if she can make it to Giltner over to 15, then she can then make a left heading back up to Aurora on 14th. A few reasons why I'm up here in Giltner. One is I want to put eyes on what it is that she was seeing. Also, any potential ponds if she did make it back to 6th Street, heading back towards 14th and then north to Aurora, if she made it this far. Because really, we've not done any searching within the 5-mile radius of home.
And these guys would definitely say Aurora's to the left, because Aurora's the next town up.
Correct.
So she's going this way. That's that farm up there, right? We're on 6 again?
Yeah, we're on 6, yes.
Yeah, that's the farm up there. They didn't make it very far before they had to ask directions again. He got out of the car, knocked on the door, and no one answered yet because it was 10:40 at night and everyone was sleeping.
Yeah.
He walked back to the car and was getting back in the car, and the gentleman that owns the house walked back out again and gave directions to her to the door, because he said, give the directions to my wife. And at that point, he gave directions to her and then watched her back into the flagpole and then said it's okay or something, and then she went out and she took a right. And that's the circle that they did at 10:30 in the morning, at 10:30 at night.
All right, so I am interested in going up to 34, making a left, and checking out this pond over here then. So we're currently in Aurora. In about 20 minutes, we're going to do a live stream to update the family as well as the world as to where we're at, what we've done, and what they can do to help us out with the search as well. So we'll link that down below as to what we went over. But the big thing about Aurora is we've not been up here. What if what if they did make it back up to their hometown and now they're just kind of lost looking for that last little road that they need to turn on in order to get to their house. So that's our mindset here before we start running longer routes later on today down into Kansas. These are Lacey's grandparents. This is Victor's parents. This is the everyday grandma and grandpa, in my opinion, that they're getting up there in age and they need our help. This is my family. They need help. There's Lacey's family need help. We're all, brothers, sisters, grandma, grandpas in this together. We're all family in this to help a neighbor, another family. Each day that goes along, we continue to speculate as to the direction they could have gone, and would they have gone north? Would they have stayed in the same area? Would they have gone a long distance to Aurora, keeping 34 and 6 in my mind? As long as I stay on this road, no matter what, I'm going to run into Aurora eventually, and they never do. And until we find them, until we find the answers, none of us know.
She couldn't get all the way to McCook. There's no way. She kept turning everywhere. She kept turning around. She kept asking for directions. Something happened within 20 minutes maximum of her leaving that Cenex.
Okay, so within 20 minutes, I still have the pond on 40.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's within 20 minutes. I don't have anything else within 20. No. Except, did you see within my 10-mile radius of the, down in the bottom right-hand side, those 5 or 6 ponds that we never checked yesterday because we didn't cross over 281 on the east side? These right here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ponds right there.
Hey, Victor, how are you? Yeah. Take this left here, he says. It's a lake we're passing. He's behind us. Take a left. Okay, keep us informed. We'll take a look at this real quick. Hey, bye.
What you got?
No, he just said there's a lake, a pond down here, or a lake down here on the left.
Are you really 13 feet there? Go ahead and pull it in a little bit. Oh, this is off of 34. Whether it's the road that goes around or this, and we had a deep spot.
You can go off anywhere in there.
Okay, well, let's put the boat in. All right, 3 feet, 5 feet, now it drops down. We have a tire down here on the right-hand side, about 20 feet to the right. 8.5 feet here. Zip back around the other side, and we'll just go run this entire lake here, anywhere there's a road next to it. It comes up quick right here as that little island comes out. Then we'll run the shoreline over here on the north side, where that Jeep is parked. This, I want to double check here, like take a look at that. See how it's coming up weird and funny? So we're gonna go double check that right there. Because remember, this is a newer vehicle, so we're gonna have a different reading on it. Yeah, there's nothing there. I believe that everything else around this property was fenced. A lot of fish on LiveScope. I remember a few days ago though, when we were in that other pond where I was talking about how things, concrete shows up shinier. You're seeing that on the LiveScope, how it shows up really shiny. All right, let's go pack this one up and go find our next location. This is this right here on Blaine. And then I want to double check this over here. If I were to drive around here and I'm in this neighborhood right here, I want to see the south side of this right here. So let's go right across the road into that neighborhood. Yeah, I don't see this as a great possibility. That ends up on a dirt road again in a weird neighborhood. So I'm gonna say no to this one.
Main Street toward West Shimmer Drive. Continue on South Lane Street for half a mile.
So the crazy thing is they were never seen again after Senex. So are they close to Senex?
So the lake that we're gonna go check out is straight on the other side of this farm field right here. We don't like it because it's on a dirt road. However, it's so close to the farmer's house right here, where it was right around the 10:30 mark, to where she pulled into, was it this one?
Yeah, slow down, that's the second one, I believe.
No, it wasn't this one.
Oh, it's the next one.
No, it's the one further
It's one
down.
further down, yeah.
So we're not gonna be passing it. So this is the one where the farmer's house was with the flagpole. But we're gonna be making a right one right before it on L Street here.
And this is one we didn't do.
No, we've not been over here at all. So look for a broken fence. Tire tracks.
It's all frozen. She'd have to go down that hill. She got.
I mean, going down the hill is fine. Give me a broken
What
fence.
about it's down there?
Yeah. But yeah, you have no broken fence on the right. When you hit any one of those metal posts, they're not popping back up. A hole over here, no broken fence. I can see everything on the hillside here. All right, up into Grand Island, meet up with the family at Walmart, or we
Hastings.
head into Hastings.
Hastings first. Let's clear those ponds in town that we didn't see near Senex.
Okay.
Just to make sure that we clear Hastings, because last known, and maybe we stay, like, let's look at that really closely on both of our phones to see if we're missing something that is obvious, that they did a loop around again, a loop around, and they came back to Senex the back way and weren't seen on anything.
Yeah.
And Lacey's showing me pictures of tire tracks going down to the water. There's a skid mark, which doesn't say much because that's not from Mom. But then she has tires going down into the water here.
Okay.
And then the third picture is coming off the road down into the area. I don't know if they keep going.
So when I come out of Giltner on 281, I'm closer to her than I am Hastings, I think.
Okay. Do those tire marks go directly into the water, or do they curve off and then back up the ramp?
They kind of go towards the water and then they stop. Not where they turn.
Okay.
And then you can't really tell if they went any farther because I think the water level was higher where they stopped at, and the water levels went down to where it might have washed away from there.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, and what was that pond frozen is the next question.
No.
In some areas it was.
Yeah. But most of it was
Over
clear.
on the east side it was frozen more, but on the, like when you would first come in from that road, it is not frozen over there.
Okay. So we're just
There
gonna.
are several places they can go in, several boat ramps.
Okay. So do you want to take a? Do you want to?
Yeah, because we're coming off of Giltner and 281.
So we're at Gilder and 281. We can either shoot to you, which is 20 minutes away, or we can go back to the Senex and really work the 4 ponds real quick to make sure we clear those that we missed.
Yeah, but they're there now.
Do you want us to meet you there?
Yeah, do you want us to meet you there? You're there right now, right?
We left from there, but we're thinking maybe go ahead and go do the Cenex thing that way instead of coming back here.
And then we can maybe do it later on, or we can do it in the morning. First thing.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll stay on task down here, Giltner to Hastings and south, and then we'll come back up to there in the morning. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Sounds
Yep.
good.
And we're getting on gravel roads to start checking around the Adams Central area. So.
That's great. I appreciate it. We'll talk in a little while.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
So everything behind these buildings is all ponds. It's 15-mile-an-hour speed limit out there.
Right.
Why is there a speed limit sign? She wouldn't go out there.
So that takes the 34 theory off the table.
So they're off of a road, and they just give me a second. They have skid marks coming off the road going to this pond here.
Is there skid marks going into the pond?
That's what it shows. It shows that they actually make it through to the pond. And I'll just start from scratch for you.
Or is that just an animal trail? Or is it an actual...
Well, if you look at when they walk up, there's 2 more tracks as he walks up the trail.
Where's my audio on it?
Path through here. You can see right and left lane where these tires go straight through.
Do it again one more time.
These tire tracks run straight into the water.
Like, are they the width of a tire tracks? Boom, boom? Or is it just an animal track similar to like what we saw before?
But the tracks go up and you see them coming from the road.
Well, look at the ice pattern too. The ice pattern there at the end of that one.
Yeah.
And the ice pattern there at the end of it.
Straight into the...
Okay, let me play that again.
These tire tracks run straight into the water. They come through here off the interstate at Alba. We were getting off the ramp, and there's a clear path through here.
We're just south of there. We just came off of Alda.
Right and left lane where these tires go straight through.
Okay, so we can be there in like 10 minutes.
But we can't do anything with it. It's frozen, right?
No, we go out there on a boat and you can use 360 if you want to.
Okay.
See,
Well, you can't because it's partially frozen, partially not. So we'd have to figure out how to do it. But yeah, we'll figure it out.
So we can just go up here
these tire tracks
and then
run straight
get off at the next exit where they're at.
water.
This is the most realistic place I've seen
Okay.
of a possibility.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
If you look at this path straight through here, you can see,
Oh yeah, you can see a path right in there.
yeah. And it goes straight down into the water.
Right. Look how wide though. I think you're dealing with a boat. I think you got dually tracks there. And then the width of this is much wider than a...
And it's frozen all the way out to here, and it's only a couple feet deep.
Ooh, that's deeper than we thought.
It is deeper than we thought, but
That's 6 foot there. All right, we're shooting 75 feet. I can see the shore. Nothing out here. And nothing out. All right, I mean, based on the width of the trailer there, I mean, I'm gonna say that's the trailer. That is not a Chrysler Pacifica wheelbase width, and there's nothing in here. I'm gonna say that this is clear out to, I'm casting 120 feet right now in front of the boat in that direction. Everything that's shiny on the bottom here at like the 60-foot mark is the edge of the shoreline that we see on the, it's gonna be the right of the screen and right behind at the bottom of the screen. So I'm really confident that this is clear as we need it to be right now.
you're going nowhere.
There you go. You got it? All right, well, we're going to head down to the Senex now That area, plus there's another pond to the south where if she potentially drove straight in and just never backed up, there's another body of water on the south side of 34 there.
Yeah, we're gonna keep hitting between the highway here and the interstate and the Platte.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're gonna stay on the north side.
Okay.
Two individuals in the year 2000, August 17th of 2000, went missing driving a Jeep, Bill Rundle and Tracy Kenley. And they were missing for 2 years, and their human remains are discovered inside of a Jeep that belonged to one of the two friends missing for the 2 years. They were pulled from a feedlot of drainage pit in Glenville, Nebraska. It's off of 3rd Street. But there's no way that they could get there, you know what I mean? Not the first time is what I'm really saying, I guess, is in the area for two people to go missing. It happened 23 years ago.
.7 feet there.
Let's look at that corner.
Yeah. 3 feet there. So it's shallower on that end, 3.5. So let's go down to that end down there.
.7, 5.8.
6 feet. That's plenty deep for a vehicle. 6 feet. That's how deep the pond was where we found Janet. Right along the shore here. Okay, we have something off to the left over here. Not quite sure. Oh, I'm on 120 also. Oh, you know what? If I adjust that, I want to go back over that right there. Nah, I'm not getting any height on anything there.
I'm not getting any on 360 either. So
yeah, it's just the way that
that was a fish that just flew by.
No, right here. See how that dips down right there?
Yeah.
That's what it was doing. It was picking up the down shadow.
Yeah.
Right here and right here. All right, so let's go hit the tip up here, and then this should be clear. All right, that clears this. 2 feet. All right, let's go pack up the boat and go check the other one. Okay. tracks, no tire tracks. Still no tire. Yeah, no, look, you got too much of a ground right there. What are we missing?
They made it all the way from Giltner, which is right next to Aurora. Right there. They've made it to Giltner. They then come down all the way to approximately Harvard and come down across into Hastings over the course of 2 hours. They've made that circle. Do they go north or do they go back the way they came through inland and up through Harvard because they realize that they have gone the wrong direction and try to get back to 14 that way by staying on 6 and flipping around somewhere and getting back to 6 because they know 6 and 14, but we have not. Have we done 6 to 14 and up?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We came down 14 at 6 because that's right here. So this is what we did yesterday because we started at the pump and pantry and then we went down all of 6 is what we did. And then we came down.
You check that green box
14.
right there?
Yeah, we checked that. And then we came south on 14 because this was our big intersection that we wanted to check at 4 and 14.
Yep, got it.
And then we took 4 across, and then we came up 281 is what we ended up doing. So what we've not done is we've not searched these ones in the 10-mile radius. So those are
Okay, so let's go back to it. Go back to Road 317, which is 6. Before you get to, let me just see here where I'm at. I'm looking for 14. 6. Tell me where 6 goes through to 14. I don't know why it's not showing me 6 and 14.
I did that right here, where we took it south. So that's just south of Harvard. So you're 2 blocks south of Harvard.
Yeah. So let's just say you blow through 14.
But how are we getting back to 14? Right now, that's the problem, is this is our last known location over here at Adams.
So 6 and 14 connect right here. Let's just say she gets back by whatever, does another right-hand turn, left-hand turn, whatever, and she comes back and she goes through. Could she go into this sand and gravel spot with the water there at School Creek?
Okay, why are we looking at new ones when we've not yet finished clearing these ones?
Okay, I won't do that then. Oh, you're talking about those?
Yeah.
was looking at Route 6 and 36, 34 as the next most logical.
It's not the most logical because now you're 20 miles east of town.
But I'm directly south of Auburn.
South of what?
Auburn. I mean, I'm sorry, of
Giltner?
No, of Aurora.
I understand that you're directly south, but how are you getting me back over there? Right now, that's the problem is that we were last seen heading west over here. And so what have we done? We know that she made southeast from the VA to here, but then she went southwest over the course of 3 hours. So 2 hours to get to here, 3 hours to get to here. And that's only 20 miles. 20 miles, 20 miles. And so now, are we now going southwest again? If we are, then we're at these locations that we've not checked. Or is it southwest? But if we've already checked every single one of these, we did that yesterday. So the 2 locations that we're currently interested in is on 40, we wanted to double check that right here. So we have this pond that we need to double check. But that's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20 miles out of town that direction.
Which makes sense in the fact that they think that they are in Grand Island again, because it all looks the same, and they're driving 20 miles out to go to Aurora.
Downside is that puts me on a dirt road, that I'm not sold on the dirt roads.
Maybe that's where they turned off. They turned around, and that's why they got in the accident, is because they turned off on a dirt road.
But it's 2.5 blocks down.
Yeah, I know.
So that's where I'm not sold on it. So at the end of the day, with it being almost 6 and it gets dark in 20, 30 minutes, it's gonna take us 30 minutes just to get there. Or we have those ones that are 10 miles away for us to check at this moment in time, or we have the one where you wanted to double check on the north side.
North side of town?
No, I'm sorry, on the north side of the lake that was at this one, where this is where the footpath was, but this is where that driveway is at that you were talking about that comes in on the north side, but I think it was too shallow.
You're talking about Hastings?
Husky Reservoir.
Oh, Husky Reservoir.
Off of Idle.
Okay, so let me just go, it's off of, what is it? I forget what it,
Husky Reservoir?
but no, what's the name of the street?
West Idle Wild. Idle Wild Road. I'm just not sold because they were never seen again on that.
But we don't know if, they didn't even know if that was them when they went through it. They just did, they suspected it was, because you can't see anything that identifies them. That's definitely not gonna, I can feel bottom all the way down.
That's going to bring us to day 6 tomorrow, where we only ask one thing of you. Simply subscribe, which is free, and turn on that bell notification. And if you've not seen the first 4 episodes prior to this one, the links are in the description down below. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, bye.
Oak, Nebraska, home of Robert. That's where he came from before he went in the military at 25 years old. There's a wire down. Looks like someone's been driving over this. I mean, it is a straight shot right there.
All right, 8 feet deep. Quite a few of the viewers from the live stream yesterday mentioned Crystal Lake here. I mean, I just don't see this as an accident at all. Oh, holy crap.
I know, I see a car. I see the car right there.
I think we have a car.